Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of UT2k4 TAM League Season 16, hosted by UFC Unreal Fight Club. And we have a match today between Bundy and l8erade. Should be a really, really good one. Although, I think we are, still in warm-up, still waiting for a couple more people, and probably the, server map to actually be chosen here. They might still be doing pick bans. Not sure. It's currently 3v3. Make that 4v3. We get a couple more people in. And 1 second, let me check the rosters. We have Bundy coconut crabs. Wow, it's fantasy. The name is weird, but it is actually fantasy, and he's listed as Fant on the sheet, which is, makes sense. I guess we all refer to him as Fant at times, so I just don't know why. Right in one ear, out the other. And Met, last player. What a wild team. Fantasy, Met, Coconut Crabs, Bundy. That is a team for the ages. Meanwhile, other side of the board, we've got l8erade, Dem, Sacred, and Raffle. Also a team for the ages. But if anyone can lead that married band of misfits to the promised land, it is definitely l8erade. Couldn't be me, that's for sure. Then again, I probably couldn't lead a paper bag to the playoffs. So, that's why we put it on the captain. It's all the captain's fault. Don't you wanna Fanta, Fanta? Don't you wanna Fanta, Fanta? Don't you wanna? I'm just saying. It's right there. It's in the name. We must wanna. Unfortunately, we're still, this is the biggest wait of all time. Don't know where Met is, don't know where Dem is either. No, wait, Dem's here. Duh. So we have Fantasy, we got Crabs. Well, just missing a couple people from Bundy's team, actually. Unbelievable. Can't get UT started without, once again, delays. Delay. Always delays. And, well, we are now just waiting on Met, who apparently is 5 minutes late. Well, 5 minutes from home. Because I guarantee you, he was already 5 minutes late. So, Met's going to be a grand total of 10 minutes delayed. and I don't have very many ideas to entertain the crowd while we wait, because we're stuck just sitting in the server spectating. What I probably could do, I'm thinking about it, is... actually change my settings to team skin models, so because it doesn't, at least the one nice thing with UT4 is that it keeps the team's color skin, so it's like red will always be the team color team and blue will always be the green, but like here it swaps whenever I swap players, so I have no idea who I'm looking at half the time. Oh, I don't know when it changes. Do I need to reconnect to make that take effect? Can't remember. Maybe I try reconnecting quickly since I've got time. Wow, is there no easy way to... Whatever, I'll disconnect and then... Nope, still green. Okay, don't know what the hell I'm doing. Somebody let me know if there's a better way to do this, or if I'm just screwing this up completely. Oh, well that would be why. I had enemy base skin turned off, but there we go. It's because I had it, I had the blue team set to be green regardless. So that should fix it. Quality of life features for the stream while we wait for Met to get back in here. Taking his sweet time. So with the power-ranked 16th Bundy's team and Met showing up with 0 warm-up, are we expecting good things from them? Bad things from them? Who knows? But l8erade's team, probably going to be good. So here's wondering if they're actually going to, you know, make good on their promise of eliminating the competition. Or if this ends up being a closer game than we would expect. I'm personally hoping it's going to be a close game. I think we all want to see some good fragging action. You know, a nice map, meaningful map 3. Everyone hates to see 3 O's. Love to see 2 1s. Unless the 3 O's like 3 straight 9 9s. Then hell yeah, we love to see 3 O's. But we are still stuck in a holding pattern, waiting for Matt. And Met has entered the game, so let's go. And let's just hit the intro one more time. We've got the UT2k4 Unreal Tournament 2004 TAM League Season 16, hosted by the Unreal Fight Club, UFC, whatever you want to call it. It's happening. And we've got l8erade versus Bundy. l8erade's team name Brimstones, Bundy's team name, I guess, S16 Power Rankings.
7, 6.
Don't know, but
5,
doesn't matter. We've got the
4,
final countdown. We're going to be
3,
starting map number
2,
1 on Elucidation.
1.
Let's get into the game, and let's go right on board with l8erade. Starting off, going to piston up to the high ground on shock and get a nice snipe out, get some damage going, and then just playing, you know, looking for damage out there and hit somebody on the low ground. Glass, way more defensible in 2k4 than UT4 with being able to shoot through the windows, but l8erade takes a big combo from the side. Fantasy taking him down, and now it is just Dem. Dem last alive. Needs something big happen. 1v3. It's going to be tough for him. Can he make it? He's got a little bit less than an LG. One shot will take him down. That snipe is not enough, but a huge combo, but LG in the back. And round number 1 going to the Power Rank 16 Bundy's team, as we'll go right on board with the man himself, the captain, although Fantasy had the best round. Probably should have gone on board with him, but we'll give the captain some love. He is the one taking the risk for the team, and so far getting behind a great flank on somebody. 135, the shock tape is in, the LG is in, the damage is out, and going to be able to get the health bubble spawning right in front of him. Everybody loved that one, and now it is Dem and l8erade against 2, and Bundy getting absolutely smoked by Late's LG, but l8erade last alive. 1v3, very doable. There's a grand total of 48 HP against l8erade, who has nearly 200 himself, and he misses the LG, needed to hit that one, and Krabs dies to anything, Bundy dies to anything, and now Krabs is going to have to run for his life, and going to be tough. Any little bit of damage is going to hurt him. Kind of needs to spike some Tri-Rocks, or, well, the headshots is definitely going to take him down. l8erade with the Dark Horse, and early on, l8erade putting the screws to the team. I mean, we'll stick with him. Dark Horse, you earned yourself another round. Going to use the little wall dodge maneuvers around, and here we go. l8erade getting off some early damage, but just maneuvering around the map for now. Not finding too much. Combo's not going to land, and he's taking a lot here. Getting flanked from both 3 sides. They called out l8erade and name chased the hell out of him. l8erade drops, and it is a 2 versus 4. And Dem trying to fight. Raffle hiding. Dem kind of letting Raffle just die in the cubby. 1v3, Dem needs to get some huge damage out. Fantasy, the only one low. Now Krabs is also low. But Bundy goes down, the healthiest member of the team. And now they get minigun out, and Dem going to collect the HP, get himself above an LG. That is crucial. He could very easily clutch this round, but he takes a free LG from the side. 8 HP left. Remains. Do they know how low he is? And LG in the back. Dem goes down, and 2-1. And Bundy, 16. Looks like they are a sweet 16 so far. And Fantasy just eliminates Raffle. Huge rockets, huge flak. And down goes Raffle. But Fantasy kind of gets stuck behind his teammate and goes down to it. Shock tapes from Dem. Krabs trying to be aggressive here. Gets good shock out. l8erade last alive against Met and Krabs. Very winnable. Krabs is low. l8erade we would expect to be able to put out some damage, but he does take a little bit. Met getting the early damage out. And now the Met set is activated, moving in. LG comes out, rockets come out, but they're missing more rockets.
Red team
And Met
increases their lead.
just hits the last rockets, takes down l8erade, puts him in the blender. And we'll go on board. I believe this is Sacred here. So let's see. I mean, let's see if he can get anything out. Unless he got replaced on the team, not sure. But whoever it is, Jugs, the player named Jugs, takes down a couple players. And moving forward here, and
Blue team
a
scores.
clean sweep. l8erade's team, the Brimstones, replies quite effectively in that round, as they absolutely put the screws to Bundy's team there. And now we'll go on board with Raffle, because he's just looking for damage, but a little bit less aggressive than his team, and now getting shot from the side. Combo not going to land. Fantasy just pushing into him, and along with, couldn't see who else was in there, but we'll go on board l8erade. It is a 2v2, and l8erade is the lower of the two, with Fantasy 24 HP and Bundy fully stacked up. LG just barely missing l8erade, hitting the wall next to him, and hitting a nice snipe, getting a little bit of damage out onto Bundy, and Fantasy does go down. So Bundy takes down Dem. l8erade right next to him, but unable to connect, and now he dies to a beam. An LG hit cannot save him here. Needs to find multiple shots or a big combo, rockets, something of the sort. The HP's behind him, but he's not going to go for it. And then l8erade comes to the side. I don't know if he hurt him or not, but LG comes out, not connecting, and l8erade looking for the spine kill, gets the spine kill, ties us up 3 rounds apiece. 4.8 PPR so far. And let's go on board with Met. Haven't seen a round from his perspective yet. Let's see how the man who, with no warm-up, is getting warmed up into this game. As he moves in, just eats an LG and drops down, decides low ground is where he wants to be. Hide like a rat, but Rocket, like a pro, takes down Jugs, and now gets a nice bit of damage out. But it is a 2 versus 3. Needs to hit some more big damage. Does hit some big damage. Can he land the next rocket? l8erade goes down. Met, great rockets. LG's,
Blue
but
team takes the lead.
too little, too late. And Brimstones firing back on all cylinders, taking a 4-3 lead. And we haven't been on board with Krabs yet. Coconut Krabs, Shock Primary Extraordinaire. How is he adjusting to 2k4, though? That is the question. Shock Primary is a little bit different in this game than UT4. The timing, definitely a little bit off. You need to really kind of almost change your mental map a little bit. So can Coconut, acclimate to it? It's kind of been going to be the question. And eats a lot of damage there. And right now, Fantasy and Bundy are going to get clean. Fantasy very low, and probably going to get cleaned up. Trying to use the shield to get out of here, but he's got 4 people just waiting for anything to run out. And 5-3 after the hot start. Rank 16 has been plummeting back to earth. And we'll go right on board once again with l8erade. And he is going to 2 HP. Shield jumps with barely any HP left available to himself. And now just looking for any damage he can get out. Gets a nice little bit of damage on, and maneuvering around the pillar and this high shock area. And just finally goes down.
Red team
Somebody's
scores.
able to hit him. But later he got out a lot of damage there for not very much. And Dem 3.9. Let's go on board. Don't know if we've really seen too many rounds from him so far, but he's pretty close to l8erade in PPR so far. Dem looks like he is hitting. Trying to make some sort of pun there based off the name, but couldn't come up with one, so you're stuck with just basic commentary. As Dem just gonna, I'm not even gonna bother with that one. But Met and Bundy against 2v3 here, but Bundy very low, and we'll go on board. Can Bundy make something happen? He's kind of leaving his teammate to fight right now, as he's gonna go collect the HP. Don't know if that was the right decision. His healthier teammate, he might have been able to do something, maybe turn the tide, get a kill, but gonna try and fight and find somebody. LG comes out, Flakball comes out, and Raffle able to turn the corner and shoot him dead. 6-4. Brimstones taking a big lead here. l8erade 4.1 PPR. Not quite as good as we've usually seen, but Dem is making up for it so far. Absolutely hitting like a truck. And l8erade gets a nice flank off for the side from the high matrix and is going to move over to Glass, takes down Bundy. And now just Met and Fantasy left, and they're both on the low ground, not where they want to be. We go on board Fantasy. Can he make something happen? Shooting some rockets, finds l8erade or somebody behind him, hits a nice flak. And Fantasy now against a couple, needs to get some big damage out. Raffle's a team killer, but Fantasy is a team dead. And 7-4 as Brimstones has taken rank 16 and showed them that there are depths that even they can sink to, as they haven't been winning rounds in a minute. I think we'll go on board Met. I believe he's still a hot, and whoever that was, Jugs just got juggled by a couple of people here. Met shooting rockets, almost hitting his teammate more so than necessarily doing damage, and needs to get a nice angle and help his team here. But so far, not happening. And Met loading rockets, it's a 1v3. He needs to try and get something done, but just too many of Brimstones just sitting around Met. Met ends up dropping. And all of a sudden, it is 8-4. And I'm not feeling like, well, l8erade gets huge combo from Bundy and goes down. And let's go on board with Dem, who's now the next man up. He's been l8erade's second fiddle so far this map. Can he be the first fiddle for his team in this round? And it's going to be hard. 1v4 already. l8erade getting taken out early does probably not bode well for Brimstone's chances in any particular round. Kind of the IGL and Space Taker for his team. And Dem finally gets dropped here, and finally, rank 16 able to get another round back on the board. We'll stay on board with l8erade here, as he's definitely kind of leading the way in the server so far. Fantasy making a great use of the shield, getting out of there, but still taking a bunch of damage, just not quite good enough with the shield usage. l8erade hitting the shots, and I think he had the shield out himself just to try and avoid some damage. And the combo comes out. Combo didn't hit, but the core and the primary certainly did. Coconut Crabs goes down, and Bundy is the last one alive. Takes an LG. I think the health pack was just taken, so no dice on that. l8erade is LGable. Probably going to be looking for a health pickup himself, just to keep himself alive. Does get one, and now has enough health to survive. And Bundy's just going to back into l8erade and go down. And map point for Brimstones. 9-5, map 1 on Elucidation. And I have a feeling they're going to just clean it up here nice and tidy. No mistakes. l8erade taking a little bit of early damage. Finds somebody with huge rockets and then tries to get anything. Hits the LG on the Coconut Crabs. And now just shock taping down Fantasy, who was being flanked as well. Met last alive, just not with the rest of his team. So he didn't die with the rest of the team. He's going to die alone. But this is probably going to be map number 1. Yep, map number 1 to
Blue team is the winner.
Brimstones, as they absolutely put rank 16. After going down 3-1, they win, 9 of the next 11 rounds. So it was a stomp. They didn't start like one. Ugh. Somebody just clearly swapped to the wrong map. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Brimstones taking map number 1 against Sweet 16, though, as Sweet 16 just unable to keep their couple early round form going. Just taking a lot, and now they get to play peer-to-peer. And hopefully their ship isn't quite sinking, and they can make it between the two piers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I will stop. I don't know if I don't know if they're actually called rank 16 or whatnot, but it doesn't matter. They're now Sweet 16, so because I thought about that. So Sweet 16 here. We'll give you started with somebody from Sweet 16. We'll go on board Fantasy. He had a couple of big rounds, did a lot of damage, but just overall not able to connect and taking way too many shock primary trades here. Not exactly what you want to be doing to start the round. You need to be, if you're not hitting the first couple, you got to get the shield out and get out of there. But Met now, having just surrounded, crossfire from 3, Coconut Crabs last alive, needs to make something happen.
Red team
not going to
takes the
happen.
lead.
And another humiliating defeat for Sweet 16 as they get absolutely blown up. We'll go on board l8erade, who's already looking for some damage. I don't know if, like, he should be expecting anyone on Sweet 16 to actually be in some of these more aggressive movement places. It seems like they're just really not even aware of their options, as l8erade able to just kind of get flanks for free right now. Thinking he's probably going to have a huge map here. Don't see good things happening for Sweet 16. And down goes l8erade, though. 1v1, but Jugs very healthy. Coconut Crab's 5 HP, needs to hit a bunch of shots, and Minigun just coming out. They knew how low he was, and they said, we're going to take that 2-0. Thank you very much. We'll see you in the next round. And we'll go on board with, we'll give Bundy a shout out here. Needs to try and, he's got a good, they have a good flank on a couple people here. Getting the damage out. Good odd man rush here. Pushing down, Dem also dies. And this could be a great round for Sweet 16 as l8erade and Dem, or l8erade is last one alive, full stack, but they are on him and takes down Met, eats a bit of damage in return. Rocket's not going to land, and now they're pushing into him though, and l8erade's going to use the shield to keep them all on one side of him. The flank is going to try and come out, but not quite a flank, more like a, you know, we're all 3 different angles from the same direction flank, but l8erade making use of the low ground and getting out and finding a 1v1 fight for a second, gets the shield out and keeps moving. And surprised we don't see a shock out there. Maybe he was out of shock, didn't notice. But l8erade finally goes down, and Sweet 16 finally gets their first round on the board. Usually you have to win 2 of those to make the Sweet 16, but round of 64, oh, ain't that bad, I guess. A round of 32, second round. If any of you basketball fans. But l8erade now fighting everybody, it seems like. And it is a 3v, well, make that a 2v2. l8erade getting a good shot onto Fantasy there, but ends up going down. And now Dem versus Fantasy, and Fantasy needs to get some huge damage out. 35 HP. Dem is just missing though, and the rocket comes in. Fantasy takes round number 2 for Sweet 16. Great fashion, taking down l8erade and Dem, and giving us, I mean, giving his team some meaningful times. Who have we not been on? We haven't been on Raffle yet. Raffle hasn't gotten a lot of screen time. Gonna see what's cooking over in Raffle land. As he's going to get shot in the back here, just unable to really kind of find any safety in this round. And then the combo doesn't hit. I don't know if the core broke on something, but getting out some good damage there before he's dying, but gives l8erade a chance here. 2 people are low enough to die. Krabs goes down, but traded out. And Sweet 16 able to take the lead. Absolutely a great great accomplishment for them. But they did have a lead last map. We'll go back on board Bundy here, as he's going to push right into somebody. Combo's coming out, but not hitting. And instead, Bundy's just eating hit scan, and now trying to back off and stay, keep himself safe here. But needs to get out and get some damage down, and does find a nice flank. Only gets a 35 damage, and now he's going to push in, go down to the flat cannon from Dem. But Met, well, I was going to say it's a 3v2, but now it's a 2v2. Met trying to get some damage out and not quite hitting, but does end up taking down Dem. l8erade, last alive, 1v2, and gets, the moment he peeks, absolutely gets smoked by Fantasy instantaneously and goes down. We'll go back on board. Fantasy looks like he is playing well so far, and gonna hit some damage here, and pushing in to start, and not quite getting into the door there, but able to kind of keep himself alive against l8erade. But l8erade ends up taking him down, and I think Met was above l8erade. Could have, well, l8erade did end up dying, so maybe Met knew something I didn't in the camera switch. But now it is 1 versus 1, Met versus Dem. Battle of the 3-letter names, and so far both are, well, I was going to say both are trading blows, but Met gets the last laugh, takes down Dem 5-2. Sweet 16 is sweetly moving into this map, getting to 5 rounds, equaling their total from last map entirely, and they are down. They have some wiggle room here, some cushion to work with. But this one's not looking too great. Fantasy last alive, trapped in an absolute corner, and gets just shock taped into oblivion. I mean, he had no chance. He couldn't even move there. He had to try and get shield out, and then somehow still make it out of the corner. As we go on board, Jugs right now, he's just pushing right in, goes down, and Met also dies. Whoever we've had the camera on so far has just eaten death not long after. And Bundy moving out, trying to fight Raffle, but getting the worst of that matchup. And looks like Dem was able to take down whoever was last alive with Bundy. And now just eats more damage and just can't get the shot, can't get away. And Brimstones making a comeback, down 5-2, now at 5-4. l8erade 4.1 PPR. Let's go on board. See what he is cooking up. And l8erade just kind of patient so far, not hitting anyone. I feel like great instincts, could feel somebody coming up behind him, and feels 2 people, hits a nice little flak ball with great core placement, not quite able to get the combo, but does get the kill on Fantasy. And now we have, I mean, it's a 2v3. Sweet 16 has a good amount of health, but Coconut Crabs is getting taken down and gets taken out. And now Met just gets obliterated. Had full HP to 0 HP in a matter of maybe a second. Tops. Couldn't even have time to switch to him. He was just gone. We'll go on board Fantasy here. I mean, he needs to help stem the bleeding. It's him and Met kind of leading the way for Bundy's team right now. And if these two aren't able to, keep it going, it looks like they're not going to. But Fantasy just finding 2 and just never quite having the space to land the combo. And all of a sudden, 4 straight rounds on the rip to Brimstones. They are firing on all cylinders after kind of a slow start. And we'll go back on board l8erade. Taking down Fantasy, although his team did most of that damage. And now l8erade just hammer jumping up, deciding to drop back down, and then running right into somebody. And nice LG, great weapon swap, and I mean, he's just making it. I think they know exactly where he is. He's just making it awkward to approach him or his teammates. And now Krabs, last alive, 25 HP. l8erade only has 22. If he can get the kill on the l8erade, he might have a chance here. Dem just does not miss the LG, comes around the corner, takes him down, and 7-5 Brimstones just absolutely on a tear right now. And we'll go on board with Dem, actually, and I keep missing him. Let's just go on board Dem and see what he's doing. Takes down Bundy. 2 nice primaries. Bundy, nowhere to go. 3v3, so this is kind of a... That's a doable. Krabs goes down, though. 2v2, and Dem with the double kill, and now Fantasy, 16 HP. Gonna, like, just peek out in front and 26 damage combo, but that's more than enough when your opponent only has 16 left in the tank and gets absolutely evaporated. And now I'm back on board l8erade, who I think is still leading 4.2, and he just absolutely tapes Bundy to a wall. Bundy nowhere to go. Rockets coming out. Huge damage onto... Can't see who that was. Well, it was probably Coconut Crab, seeing as Met and Fantasy are the last 2 alive. And, I mean, it is a 2v2. So Sweet 16 able to... Met gets just obliterated, and then l8erade coming up behind Fantasy. And l8erade didn't even need to do anything there. Raffle able to secure the kill. And this is, despite leading 5-2, there's a chance that... they drop 8, Sweet 16 drops 8 straight rounds to lose 10-5. And huge damage already onto Fantasy, but a decent amount of damage onto l8erade as well. That LG looked like almost like a no-reg, but might have hit the ground right in front of him. Don't even know if he got splashed, though. But l8erade able to land the flak ball onto Met, trying to chase through the tunnel. And now... l8erade just using these upper limbs of the map to his advantage. Takes down Bundy. And now, Fantasy, l8erade 1v1. Fantasy, 28 HP. l8erade's going to use the shield to get up, but Fantasy hits a shot. And l8erade misses a shot. Fantasy has a chance here. 1 primary, 1 LG, all it takes. And Fantasy hits it, prevents this team from losing 8 straight, and gets a 6th round on the board. They just need to win 4 more, and Sweet 16 can take a map. Number 2 away from Brimstones, but Brimstone's going to have a lot to say about that. They won 7 straight, so dropping 1 shouldn't be that big of a deal when the other team still needs to win 4 more in a row. And l8erade just unmolested up at the top here. Just completely, I mean, takes down Fantasy, makes this a 1v1. I thought it was going to be a 1v3. Didn't see where somebody else died, but, well, good thing for Brimstones that they did. And now l8erade hits the opening LG, and now it's just a matter of, I think, cleaning up the rest of the health bar of Mr. Coconut Crabs. Although l8erade having some problems here, getting up the ramp dodge, and then decides, you know what? Let's stop, you know, let's just stop that whole business of trying to get up to the top area there. Let's just shoot him, you know. Acknowledging that he just got seen on stream as missing every little... As we go on to Algol. What the hell? Address a score bug. It is 2 map win match win currently for Brimstones, and we're going to see if Sweet 16 is able to take a map, make this a 2-1 instead of a 3-0. But it is currently 2-0 for Brimstones. Sweet 16 dropping the first 2 maps on Elucidation and Peer-to-Peer. In kind of bad fashion, too. 10-5, 10-6. They got out to a lead both maps and then just started losing rounds. Lost 9 out of 11. And lost 8 out of 9 to close out both maps.
Eight, 7, 6.
And
5,
we have our final
4,
countdown. We're going to be getting
3,
into map number 3
2,
on Algol.
1,
And I mean, we start off probably the MVP from the first 2 maps. l8erade had the highest PPR for both, but Dem, absolutely fantastic play as well. Do not count him out. Met and Fantasy actually performing quite well, seems so far. Just not quite able to help Sweet 16 bridge the gap. But l8erade now on Algol, fighting at Amp, has just getting shot from multiple angles, trying to give himself and his team. He does survive long enough to give his team the ability to live. And now, I mean, Bundy, last alive, dies at the shock area, stuck in a bad spot. You don't kind of want to be low shock on this map, not where you want to be trying to sit, especially if you're trying to 1v4. We'll go on board Bundy, though. Was the last guy to die. Might be the first one here as he's aggressively fighting 2 people, but able to hit the shots and gets absolutely blown up by something. A 2v1 from somewhere, ate a lot of damage, and then goes down to a primary. Coconut Crab's able to take down Dem, but fighting 2, needs to probably get the shield out there. But Fantasy, now last alive. He's low, though. Taken down by a shock. Yeah, I mean, they knew he was hurt. Just get the shocks out, start firing. You'll tape him sometime. The presence will get wrapped. Enough tape there to do that. We'll go on board Crabs, get a little bit of screen time. Hasn't seen him too much. And again, just as a UT4 guy, if he can adjust to shock primary, he has some potential. Very, very effective just plus Wing with shock primary. And this game, you can get away with that if you're hitting. So Crabs has potential, but going to be in a 1v2 is going to need to do something crazy. Gets primaried off the combo, but is able to hit 2 onto Jugs. Dies to an LG, needs to not get hit. And l8erade just able to hear him walking around or see him something, but he just hits a 3-0 scoreline so far. As just, I mean, not going. Met hitting a big combo and following up with a good primary. Got a lot of damage out onto Dem. And just not connecting now. Don't know who was firing at there. It was Dem. Dem low. Dem going down. l8erade last alive. And this could be Sweet 16's first round on Algol. But l8erade going to go hide in the U-Haul on a ledge. Or actually, that's not U-Haul. That's...
Blue team scores.
Don't know what little hallway that is, but l8erade was hiding on a ledge and got exterminated like a rat, like he deserves. Best not be playing like a rat, son. But seeing l8erade early round here, and he's going to move forward, and once again, he just kept pushing. And Met, not literally looking behind him, thought he'd given himself enough time to survive. Fantasy going to drop, and now Bundy, last alive, he's just getting linked down. Can't even move.
Red team scores.
Lockdown, the worst thing of all time. As we'll see Fantasy. Can Fantasy help clean up for his team? I mean, he needs to... Him and Met have been putting in the work. So, can't even say he was really been the reason they've been losing at his ranking, but maybe not quite strong enough. Goes down to l8erade. 2v2. Make that a 1v2. Met could win this. Just needs to hit some good damage. Got one of the players low. Both players low. Both players dying to a beam now. And Met fully stacked up. This dude is bricked up and needs to try and just hit any damage, but ends up finally taking down Dem. But looking the wrong way for Raffle. And this dude is whipping his mouse around like he owes it money. Or it owes him money. Whichever one you want to say. No one's going to judge you here. But Met, I mean, this dude is...
1 minute remains.
Can't even follow his mouse movements. He's just whipping, jumps up the ramp, doesn't go for the HP pack, now might back off. I don't think he wants to give away his location, but now he takes a shot and able to hit the shot on Raffle, gets Sweet 16 their second round. Met to meet ya. Met absolutely does win a round, although he blows most of his health stack to do it. And I mean, what the hell? Come on, Met. Be a little bit better than that. These guys were one-tappable. You had full HP. But he got it done. Can't hate on him, the dude. He got the round that his team needed. Hit some good rockets. Needs to hit some shots. Dem goes down. Met taking a lot of damage, though. Basically trading his life with Dems. But any damage Met can get out now is going to be a big bonus. But l8erade just comes around a corner and just takes that bonus completely away from Met's hands. And then hits Fantasy. Bundy, last alive. Bundy just able to turn around and hit Raffle. But now has to worry about 2 players. l8erade lurking and not healthy. Does die to an LG, but Jugs very... And l8erade gets caught looking the wrong way. Shield was out, but it doesn't matter if you're facing the wrong direction. Bundy makes him pay
1 minute
and takes
remains.
a absolutely dead heat into this 1v1. Both players 160, and then we get to watch Algol 1v1s where both players just circle around the map and not finding each other, not shooting at each other, and neither one wants to peek. But finally, we have a fight, and what gets landed is a splash damage LG. Another... How do you get 2 in a row? How? How do you do that? 2 splash damage LG in a row before finally Bundy gets hit with an LG of his own, but the shock tape's coming out. He's not that low. 40 HP, needs to hit anything, and Jugs gets Jugs takes down Bundy. Bundy goes down 5-2. Brimstones are laying the pipe to Sweet 16. They've been doing it. They're just continuing. And l8erade actively fighting Fantasy here. And a matchup that everyone wants to see, and Fantasy gets absolutely dominated. Coconut goes down, and now Met, last alive. Can he make some damage happen? Not looking likely.
Red team scores.
Humiliating defeat.
And down goes Sweet 16 once again. Who is currently leading? Raffle, highest PPR for Brimstones. Absolutely brimming with confidence, this map. Algol is apparently where Raffle goes to get his kicks. As he just, he just took almost all of the health bar off. But now, Coconut 1v3 and gonna get linked down 7-2. And l8erade finally has retaken the lead. Who's leading? Met. We'll just go on board l8erade. See the guy who's putting out a lot of damage here, and not quite connecting this round. Does finally land some shock tapes, and he's just holding this back mini LG area, just giving himself ability to control the top of the map and rotate to quickly as needed, but does end up going down. And now it's a 2v2, Raffle and Dem against, and well, make that just Met 1v2. Raffle very healthy, Dem LGable. Met needs to hit it. Hits the 1 HP. What? How does he have 1 HP? Was I just misreading? I thought he had 70 HP and he went down to 1. What the hell? What? Am I crazy? Do I need to rewatch that? I probably need to. Met hitting some damage, but I must be insane. l8erade and don't know who is fighting with Met there, but able to kind of get a 2v2, and instead, nice 72 damage. l8erade last alive. Has a little bit over an LG and is going to run out of there. 1v3. Going to try and pick up this HP, but does get spotted. He's going to get chased down, does get hit a little bit, and takes down Fantasy, peek in the corner, drops the shield, and just absolutely smokes him. And somebody missed a LG, I think. And
1 minute remains.
l8erade. And again, this is like late round, like 1v1, 1v2 situations on this map. It just feel like it's a bit too big. You just see people just rotating like this, and it's just, okay, so somebody just waits and sits, and eventually you rotate into them, and they hit a shot because you're coming through a corner. Or they miss the shot, and you just kill them. But l8erade takes down Bundy and makes this difficult.
30 seconds left.
A tough 1v2 goes to an unwinnable 1v0 as l8erade gets the clutch 1v2, takes us to map point, and 3-0, and l8erade just starts off with a headshot on to Fantasy. Fantasy is probably on the remove headshots train after that, and l8erade is going to just chase him down and is just looking. Fantasy has no HP, and l8erade is just search and destroying. He is name chasing a man. And l8erade comes up, hits a big combo. Bundy goes down. Met last alive. l8erade links out, guns out, 30 HP on Met. And l8erade could have just continued linking. Doesn't matter. Gonna shock tape him. 5.1 PPR, or well, 4.7 after the round ends. 56 score, 4,200 damage. Great work out of l8erade. And Sweet 16, Met and Fantasy were some of the more productive players for them. So, you know, I guess we were really hoping for more out of Bundy, but just not happening. So, I'm in. Till next time. UT2k4 TAM League Season 16 hosted by UFC. l8erade should be streaming the next match, so get on board that stream pretty quickly, and
20
you
seconds.
should see a good one. So, catch you all next time.